beware, beware. This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ, 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ, 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Monday morning to everybody, friend and foe. Election time's near, about 21 days left. You know, the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, we apparently have arrived. They're throwing hit pieces out on us. I got to tell you, I feel honored. I feel honored. You people know my background from 18, 20 years ago. I didn't make a mistake. I made bad judgment. These people have elevated me, poor white trash, to be relevant in this election. They're worried people. They know that common people like me and like you, we finally had enough. And we're going to take our county back, then we're going to take our state back, and then we're going to take our country back. It's not a black-white thing. It's not a man-woman thing, and it's certainly not a Democrat or Republican thing. It's an American thing. And for you asswipes out there that say I take patriotism too far, kiss my white, blue, and red, patriotic, wrinkled old ass. I love this country. I love our military. I love our first responders. I hate these greasy, sleazy politicians. And see, my mission in Springfield is two things: to help the good people of my district in this great state, and to destroy the culture of corruption. It started in Chicago, it eased in through Springfield, it really got strong in St. Clair County. This corruption's been going on forever. Now they tell me when you go to the polls, watch it if you're on a touch screen, because there's already some shenanigans going on. Be careful, people. They want to steal your vote. That's the biggest thing that you have that people have died for. That's the most powerful, important thing you have in your grasp is your vote. Let's take it serious. And if everyone gets out that's been screwed by the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption in St. Clair County, our ticket will win 5-1, 6-1. And not only, you've heard me before, not only do we win, but you the people, win. We can't take any more of this. Before we go, I want to, what a great time yesterday. And I want to thank the Treehouse Wildlife Center. They had an eagle that they were going to release, in honor of my son. They called me, and I kind of backed off because it was for a little bit, not a better cause, because my son was just as good as anybody, but for a more, what can I say? At this time in life, a better cause. They released that eagle. The Treehouse Wildlife Center in Dow, Illinois, released the eagle in honor of the officer Snyder, the St. Louis County police officer who was killed last week. And I'm kind of glad I let my son take second seat, because I think he'd be honored being an ex-policeman. But they were going to release it in honor of my son. But we forewent that, and the good people at the Wildlife Center released it in memory of Blake Schneider. And I want to I want to thank the great people out at the Treehouse Wildlife Center for their thoughts and consideration on my son. But at some other time, we will release an animal in honor of my son. I love those people up there. We donate up there. We try to do all we can do. It's a small operation, and they take animals that have been hurt. They can't go back into the wild. See, most people don't understand that. Most people don't even realize what's going on. But there's some great people. They don't make a lot of money. But I tell you what, their wallets may not be big, but their hearts, if I had their hearts filled with money, I'd be a trillionaire because their hearts are that big out there. But again, I want to thank the good people at the Treehouse Wildlife Center in Dow. That's right outside Elsa. And I also want to say we were out there yesterday and want to say hello to the mayor of Elsa. What a great guy. Come up and talk to me. Beautiful town. So, Mayor, you keep up the good work in Elsa. But it was a great time. And I'm sure the Schneider family was honored to have that bald eagle, the symbol of our country, released in his honor. And I'm sure it'll happen one day for my son soon. But I just think it was the word I was looking for, a more appropriate time for Blake Schneider to be recognized, and so he was. So, again, all you good people at the Treehouse Wildlife Center, you keep up the good work. If there is a heaven, and I'm beginning to believe maybe there's a spot for you guys for sure. The election's coming up, and we talk a lot of politics, because life is politics. This ass-wiped, ignorant, stupid son of a bitch. And Mark Kern, I want to ask, I know you've got the support of the LGBT community. I want to ask you, just on a serious note, and I don't know, but I'm just curious, are you gay? I'd just like to know that. Mark Sweet Cakes Kern, how did you ever get a name like Sweet Cakes? I'm just asking. Doesn't make you a good guy. Don't make you a bad guy. I mean, what are you? I mean, you're not much of a man, and I wouldn't want to disrespect women and say that you're a woman. I heard about the alleged incident years back where you were allegedly, and I don't know, allegedly, might have been a Halloween. It had to be Halloween because, well, not with you, Kern, but I'm going to ask, were you caught wearing a dress going down East Main some years back?
Where's the dress?
Whoa.
Where's the dress? Tell me where's the dress? Where's the dress?
Now, Mo, let's get on down to the store and get some lipstick and some rouge.
Where's the dress? Hey, Joe, why don't we do this thing up right and get some in my ostrich balloon?
You know,
where's the dress?
I was wondering if they made a pink pump in a size 12, Mo.
Where's
Hey,
the dress?
Kern, now I know you're not like Mo. I know, well, I don't know, but you don't wear lipstick too, do you? I'm just asking. But Kern, you're getting a lot of support from the LGBT queer community. So I'm just asking, not casting any bad light, but how in the hell did you get the name Sweet Cakes? And how can a guy like you want to run this county? And then he puts in the paper, people, here's what really, on a sincerely serious note, this ass-white bastard. Now, I've been talking about developing the riverfront for 3 years, and it's going to happen when I'm elected state representative. And I'm not doing it just for the black community. I'm doing it for the entire community, because just about everybody is somewhat of a transplant from East St. Louis, whether they live in New Athens and Millstadt, Mascoutah, Belleville, Fairview. I want to go back. I want to go back to East St. Louis. People don't go back to East St. Louis, not because of the proud black community. There's nothing to go back to. And I've been touting. I touted, and so did Roger Cook, to put the spy agency down at East St. Louis on the riverfront. But no, they didn't want to do that. Kern had to have it up in Belleville, so he didn't have an excuse for that debacle in Mid-America Airport. You heard me before. He was going to say, hey, no, that's why we had to spend $500 million, waste $500 million on the Mid-America Airport, because that's the only way we could have got the National Spy Agency. But because of the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption, we lost the spy agency, and now he has no excuse. I demanded, and I talked to Kern. He didn't talk to me. I called him up and cussed him out, and then he hung up on me, of course. I told him, let's develop the airport. Let's develop the riverfront. The hell with the airport. He'd have no part of it, people, because he doesn't give a damn about the black people. He doesn't give a damn about the white people. But here's a quote from this politically inbred, stupid son of a bitch. Mississippi riverfront. Now listen to this lie, people. Listen to this lie. We are in the midst of major project to finally take advantage of the St. Clair County's riverfront and attract new businesses and new jobs there. You no good lying piece of political crap. People, if you vote for this idiot, you're as big as idiot as he is. He's going to sit there and slap us in the face. Now it's election time. It's election time. And this bastard, listen to me. I've been touting it for 4 or 5 years. Kern's backed away from it completely. Now he needs the vote in East St. Louis. And he's got the nerve, the audacity to think we're that stupid in St. Clair County. Listen to me one more time. Mississippi riverfront. We are in the midst of a major project to finally take advantage of St. Clair County's riverfront and attract new businesses and new jobs there. Hey, Kern, you took that page out of my playbook. I know you listen to me every day. Somebody says you'd listen to me in the bathroom. And I hope you don't have a picture of me in there when you do, if you know what I mean. And I think you do, Kern. This lousy rot. Now, you people out there, Democrats and Republicans, I'm talking about the rank and file Democrats and Republicans, not the Democratic organization, the 5%, because they're the ones that have the jobs for their family and friends. They'd vote for Kern no matter what the hell he did or said or whatever, in a bathroom or any place else at the Y. They wouldn't give a damn. But what about the vast majority of us? Not Democrats, not Republicans, not black, white men or women, but Americans. And this no good, greasy, low-life, bottom-feeding son of a bitch has the nerve to say that they're in the midst. Kern, how the hell? People, does he think we're that stupid? Then he says here, in St. Clair County, we have tremendous success in improving how county government works and are tackling tough problems and finding solutions. Kern, you must be on some kind of medication, you idiot. You haven't tackled any problems. You've cost us $500 million on that debacle at the airport because of the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption from Washington, D.C. to Chicago to Springfield. They would not let the spy agency in St. Clair County, even though we had the infrastructure, we had the hotels, we had the restaurants, we had everything that's needed, the interstate. But because of you, Mark Sweet Cakes Kern, Bob, I'd rather piss in my pants than piss in a urinal sprig. Let's throw in Garrett. I'm the fattest son of a bitch on earth because I'm eating at the public trough at the tune of $2 million a year, Harner. All you ignorant, rotten bastards. And you good people in St. Clair County, don't vote for Bob Romanik. If you're that stupid, don't vote for Bob Romanik. And it may piss you off, but I'm pissed off. We're sitting there getting screwed every day. And then they say what a bad guy Bob Romanik is. I've never stolen from anybody. I'm a felon. I'm not a killer. I'm not a rapist. I just wish there was two kind of felons, but there's not. But that's for another day. But I'm the bad guy, and I'm going to show you how bad I am. They ostracize me. They want to say I'm a bad guy. I'm a felon. I'm this and that. I'm going to show you some of the people they support here in a few minutes, and I'll show you how hypocritical these no-good, rotten bastards are. And you guys all know it. But for Kern to have the audacity to lie to all of us, transparency, efficiency, and customer service, we have made great progress in our goals to continuously improving county government. Jesus Christ, come on, Kern. What kind of comedy act are you trying to perpetuate here? You hear me? And listen to this. We have put an emphasis on customer service and professionalism at every level of government. Now, this guy's delusional. This guy's delusional. Hey, you better work out your brain at the Y instead of some of those other small appendages you may work out, Kern. People, and he put this in the paper. And someone said, well, don't read it. You're giving him publicity. No, I want to give him publicity. He thinks, and see, people, it ain't about him. It's about how stupid he thinks we are. And more than 120,000 passengers have flown this year from Mid-America. And we get inquiries every week from new companies. Well, Kern, you've been there 12 years. Why all of a sudden now, 3 weeks before the election, the Mississippi riverfront is a top priority? New businesses are coming into the county, top priority. You're a lousy, lying son of a bitch. There ain't no new businesses coming in. And he does tout this 120,000 passengers, but you heard me, people. You heard me, people. Every passenger that leaves St. Clair County spends his $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in either Las Vegas, Destin, Florida. Why do you think the mayors in Destin, Florida, and the mayor in Vegas in their Chamber of Commerce, why do you think they subsidize Allegiant Airline? One of the most unsafe airlines in the country. But see, Kern don't care. The St. Clair County Democratic Culture of Corruption don't care. All they want to do is try to look good, try to shore up that debacle, that failure of an airport. All that money goes somewhere else. But then here's what he says here. And he says the base. The base is there, Scott Air Base, because of the airport. Now, people, this guy has lied and lied and lied. And we're going to put up with it? No, we're not going to put up with it, people. I think we're smart enough. Oh, they've also started to demolish derelict properties. Well, hell yeah, there's a lot of derelict properties in St. Clair County, Kern. Now think about it, people. I always give you the underbelly. There's a lot of derelict houses, 200, because people have lost their jobs. There's no jobs in St. Clair County. They've stolen all their money. They've raised the taxes where people have lost their houses, the taxes. That's one thing that's the truth, Kern. There are a lot of derelict houses in St. Clair County, and especially in East St. Louis where you're trying to buy a lot of votes. Buy them with your political expertise, of course. Our plans for the next term includes more demolition and focus on public safety. Kern, you've been there 12 years. The Democratic Culture of Corruption has been in St. Clair County for 40 years. How the hell can you sit there with a straight face after as much of you is screwed, you and the Democratic Central Committee, the Democratic Culture of Corruption in St. Clair County, how can you with a straight face say you're going to do? We will also continue to create jobs. What do you mean continue? You haven't created a job. You've cost us jobs. You've cost the taxpayers. Property values are going down in St. Clair County. We're the laughing stock of the state of Illinois. And you say property taxes? You're going to try to save on property taxes? Well, you have to fire all your family and friends and all Sprague and Harner's and everybody else's family and friends. Unbelievable. We also will continue to work to create jobs based on the infrastructure that we have worked so hard to build. Now, I'll tell you, if he put this in a book, it'd have to be fiction. There's no truth at all to anything this son of a bitch says. But see, they put it out, people. They say it, and we're supposed to believe it. We're supposed to believe it. But Mark Kern talks about future development. People, let's get past that. Let's get past that. There's poor white trash, Bob Romanik. I've finally arrived, and I want to thank you, the St. Clair County Democratic Culture of Corruption. Because, see, I'm not a politician. I'm a radio host. I'm a talk show host. And you've elevated my persona probably 500%. I mean, we had thousands and thousands and thousands of people listening. Now we've got hundreds and hundreds of thousand people listening, thanks to the exposure. And again, people, you know I'm not perfect. But they've made me relevant. They've made me very important in this election. You know, they've sent out 4 or 5 hit pieces out on me telling you I'm a felon, that I own a strip club, which I don't own a strip club, but that's okay. That's okay. Well, you know, all those half lies and half truths, you can't counter. You just let them go. They put out 4 or 5 hit pieces on me. I'm going to cost them alone about $250,000. They're going to spend, Kern told someone they're going to spend $1.5 million in this election. And he wants it for a $90,000 a year job. See, I don't need this job, people. They do. If they all lose this election, they got no place to go. See, I'm sitting here. I've got a place to go, but they don't. But they've got me now hit pieces on TV in Springfield, the Springfield market, and also in the St. Louis market. So again, guys, I want to tell you, I've arrived. Poor white trash from the housing project. And I, along with the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, we've got you guys scampering all over the place. We got Kern lying about what he's done. People, they haven't done anything for 30 years. Don't fall for that okey-fadoke. Don't fall for that okey-fadoke. But again, thank you guys for all the hit pieces. I mean, you can only talk how bad I am for so long, guys. And I don't really care because you get my name out there, and I appreciate that. But I will tell the people, all the people in the 114th Legislative District, I'm not perfect, but I'll fight. I'm the perfect warrior. I'll fight. I'll fight for the Democrats, even if you don't vote for me. I'll fight for the Republicans, even if you don't vote for me. If you're in my district, if I represent you, I will go up there and represent you. I won't take a penny. My opponent, the nice lady from East St. Louis, and down there, it's a black-white thing. They make it a racial thing. Not the Proud Blacks, but LaToya Greenwood. They don't want anybody to know. They sent a different hit piece out up above the hill. They didn't want anybody to know that she's black. They didn't want anybody to know that she's Alonzo Greenwood's daughter. They didn't want anybody to know that she'll have 3 jobs that the taxpayers are paying. She'll be making over $250,000 a year. Well, I'm not going to take a penny because I'm not greedy. I don't need it. They don't tell you all that. They want to tell you the bad about Bob Romanik. They won't tell you about her scuffling up at the, and it's on YouTube, about her and her boyfriend, Hickey Thomas, getting arrested at Best Buy. And we're going to talk about all these arrests from these other people and how hypocritical these son of a bitches are. And we're going to do that right after the break. Let's take care of a little bit of our housekeeping. The Shriners having their Halloween, their 21st annual Halloween party coming up Saturday, October the 29th. It'll be held, doesn't say where the hell it's going to be held. It says Children's Parade of Costumes. There's going to be prizes, traveling trophies. Oh, I guess it's going to be at the Temple down in East St. Louis. It'll be from 12 to 1. There'll be lunch in the dining room and then trick or treat in the unit rooms. The auditorium will be open. Get out there and support these Shriners. Great people. That's on October the 29th. If you have questions or concerns, I don't have their telephone number, but the Shriners in East St. Louis, they'll be able to give you all that information. And as always, thank you guys for all you do for our children. My American Legion Post, 162, having their meet, shoot the first Sunday of every month from October to March. 100% of the profits go to the veterans at Jefferson Barracks Hospital, providing things that the VA won't supply. That's because our politicians have stolen everything. That's why our proud veterans get nothing. We're about 1 mile up Broadway from Jefferson Barracks and easy to find. So if you guys can get out to the American Legion Post 162 meet shoot the first Sunday of every month in October through March, please do. The Pancake Breakfast Fundraiser, Saturday, October the 29th at the Grange Hall in Millstadt. All proceeds go to the Mid-America Horse Rescue. We'll be there. I hope you good people will attend. The A9 Shriners Quarter Auction coming up Saturday, October the 22nd. It's St. Paul's United Church of Christ in Lebanon. It's $25 for an all-bid card. Bring your own snacks. If you have any questions or concerns, you can contact Connie Haas. It's 791-2729. October the 30th, St. Peter's United Church in Ferguson, Missouri, having their trunk and treat. Have any questions or concerns, you can contact 314-521-5694. Open enrollment at the Millstadt Township Senior Citizens, the great people in Millstadt. We'll be there tonight. We're going to have a meet and greet at Reinhardt's. All these St. Clair County Democratic people will be out there. They'll be out there to harass us. Every time we go someplace, the Democrats always follow us around. So, guys, we're going to be at Reinhardt's in Millstadt. We're going to have some free appetizers. We're going to have the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition candidates there. So if you guys can make it out, I think it starts at 6:30. Come out, and we'll tell you what we're going to do. Some of you Democrats, though, you idiots that Kern and Sprague sent out, why don't you guys stay home, because we don't need you, don't want you, and I don't think the good people of St. Clair County are going to need you and want you after November the 8th. The Mascoutah Fire Department, the great guys in Mascoutah, having their mulligan and chili from 11 to 2 at 224 North Rail in Mascoutah on October the 30th. Sunday, October the 30th. The radio station will be out there. Massacre on Bourbon Street. Our good friends, Andy and Debbie Economy, great people from Madison, Illinois, having their 21st Purge election year adult Halloween costume party. It'll be at the AmVets Hall at 1711 Kennedy Drive in Madison. 7 p.m. it starts. They're going to have a catered dinner, soda, beer. Andy and his lovely bride, Debbie. All the money goes to the Animal Protection Association. They're great people. They love animals. We're going to be out there. It's $20 a ticket. We had a great time last year. It's the 31st annual Andy and Debbie's Purge election year Halloween party at the AmVets Hall, 1711 Kennedy Drive in Madison, Illinois. Let's see. It says here, Bob, hope you had a great weekend. You hear there's a secret revealing that Hillary Clinton is part of the LGBT community. Now, that's alleged. I don't know, but maybe you've heard that. if you know what I mean, and I think you do, so thank you, Joe. Really, look it up. Maybe Kern should come out. Come out where? Come out of his house? Come out of his kitchen? What are you talking about, Joe? Come on. Thank you very much for everybody's response. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of Radio. Go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling for the best of all three of our great stations. You can listen to my repeat performance every day, Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock p.m. And now broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night at the stroke of midnight. Please like us on Facebook, KQQZ 1190 AM or KZQZ 1430 AM. Go to my personal Facebook page, Fans of the Grim Reaper, or Bob Romanik for State Representative. And as always, please, St. Clair County Freedom Coalition on Facebook. You'll get all the political insight, all the information you'll need. I'm going to say hello to a gentleman I met in Mascoutah, great guy, third or fourth generation heating and plumbing, great, had a beautiful wife and children, Jim Morrison. I want to say hello to you. He's a president of Honor Air Heating and Plumbing. They say it's a great operation. I think it's four generations. If you need some heating or plumbing, give Jim a call. It's 618-623-4041, and it was an honor and a privilege. It is Honor Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. So, Jim, thank you and your family very much for the kind words. Met Beth here in Belleville, says her husband, Brian, loves to listen to my show. I guess he's got some psychiatric problems, but that's okay. But I want to say hi to Beth and Brian Gagan for listening, taking the time out, and thank everyone for taking the time out to listen to my crazy crap. On this date, October the 17th, 1860, the first professional golf tournament was held in Scotland. On this date, October the 17th, 1919, RCA was founded. On this date, October the 17th, 1931. And guys, you ought to say that I was probably one of his associates. You said everything else. Mobster Al Capone, with his associate, Bob Romanik, was convicted of income tax evasion and sentenced to 11 years in prison. Bob Romanik was not born yet, but we're going to blame him for that too. Okay, thank you. On this date, October the 17th, 1933, physicist Albert Einstein arrived in the United States as a refugee from Nazi Germany. On this date, October the 17th, 1943, Chicago's first Subway was formally opened, and I love Subway. They taste, they're excellent sandwiches. First one, I'm sorry, that's the real Subway. On this date, October the 17th, 1949, Northwest Airlines became the first in the United States to serve alcoholic beverages in flight. On this date, October the 17th, 1979, Mother Teresa of India was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, along with Bob Romanik. I'm going to throw me in something good, you guys. Don't always make it bad. Hell, give me a break. On this date, October the 17th, 2006, the United States population reached 300 million people. And a couple asswipes, Kern and Sprague, and you know the routine. That's what happened on this date, October the 17th. Throughout all these years in our world's history. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to reveal some of the good Democratic candidates that are running countywide. Not so much in the county race, but the city races. But these are candidates that Kern and Sprague and the hypocritical bastards, candidates that they endorse, that they support, that support them. And we'll give you a little bit of their background right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, very proud to be the Patriot. I was just handed a note. The Meet the Candidates will be held tonight, Monday, October the 17th, 6:30 p.m. at Reinhardt's Tavern, a great place, 201 West Madison in Millstadt. Pizza and salad will be served, cash bar available. I'll be there. Ed Cockrell, Carl Officer, Gary Carnwell, Roger Cook. I don't know if Dallas Cook's going to be there. I was told he's got a meeting with the city of Belleville, so he has to take care of those obligations first. But we'll be out at Reinhardt's tonight at 201 West Madison in Millstadt. That's October the 17th tonight at 6:30 p.m. And anybody come out, join us. We'll let you know whatever we know. We won't lie to you. We'll tell you the truth. And if it hurts, it just hurts. There's some sound offs, and I usually don't get these, but it says, it's a funny thing. I saw a mailer today, a mailer from LaToya Greenwood. She says we can't trust convicted felon Bob Romanik, but apparently we can trust LaToya Greenwood, who thinks it's okay to beat up a Best Buy employee. Here's another one. I received a flyer to the Democratic Party rallying against Bob Romanik. Suddenly now the Democratic Party suddenly finds his behavior abhorrent? This from the same party that danced to all the Democratic problems back in the day? They had no problem accepting money and leadership years ago. I find it strange that the Democratic Party calls the candidates on Romanik's ticket misfits when a number of them were previously on Democratic tickets and were told by us that they were the best candidates available. That's how hypocritical these son of a bitches are. But people, here's what I'm going to tell you. You know that I'm not perfect. I didn't kill John F. Kennedy. I mean, I did a lot of things. They're going to put out that I killed John F. Kennedy. I'm sure I started World War II and I wasn't even around. But see, that's okay. You know what they say in the entertainment business? As long as your name gets out there, it's good. So you're getting my name out, guys. I appreciate it. But I'm going to show you how hypocritical these bastards are, how big of liars they are, and how people should never support them after 50 years of mismanagement and corruption. They've got a gentleman, James Haywood. He's running for county board in Cahokia. He's endorsed by Sprague. Listen to me, people. You got to get a pen and a paper and a maze because you'll never believe this crap. He's been endorsed by Sprague, by Kern, by the Democratic organization, by Curtis McCall out in Centerville Township. This man has, and I've got it in my hand, this man's got about 47 charges on him. 47 charges. You go to circuitclerk.com, St. Clair County, Illinois-US. This is James Haywood. It's their candidate. He's been convicted of obstructing justice. He was convicted of absentee ballot, of making the absentee ballot of another person a Class 3 felony. This guy is all over the place. Been dismissed. He's been charged with driving under the influence, improper lane usage, improper turn signal, driving, speeding. Hold on, that's just the minor ones. Hold on, oh, here they are. Battery, causing bodily harm. It was dismissed. All these cases, dismissed. 47 cases. But he is a convicted felon. He was convicted of voter fraud, I believe, or something to do with voting. I'm trying to find all this. This is like, I wish, Jesus. Dismissed. See, people, here's what happened. Here's a conviction for, he got supervised release, closed, dismissed, criminal trespass. This guy's got 47 counts on him, but he's one of their felons, people, and he's running for county board in Cahokia. That shows you how hypocritical these guys are. And here's the ironic thing. He's appearing on October the 20th for a hearing expungement. He wants to get his felony. Expunged. And I guarantee you they're going to expunge it because he's one of their guys. Going to get his felony expunged, people. 47 counts of different charges. and he's supported by Kernan Sprague. But see, that's their felon. That's a felon kissing their ass. See, they don't like felons that don't kiss their ass. They don't like felons that expose them. And I hope every felon votes against you guys. Hell, you'll lose 5-1 on that. And everybody that's got a family member that's made a mistake or a friend, they don't want your vote, see? They think they're better because they've never made a mistake in their life. These lousy, rotten, lousy, lying bastards. But they're going to be there on October the 20th to get a hearing expungement so this guy won't have a felony record. I could have got a pardon. It would have cost me $300,000-$400,000 in, quote, legal fees. I didn't want any part of it. But they're going to expunge James Haywood. 47 charges he's had in St. Clair County since he's been around. Hell, I can't even read all this crap that he's been involved in. Battery, bodily harm, another one. Criminal trespass. Driving under the influence again. Blah, blah, blah. This is... But here, you know who got a expungement? Or whatever the hell she got? You got to go to stlstlouis.com, the Post-Dispatch. Allerton Mayor admits smuggling into jail. They've got a picture of her. They thought my picture was bad in that flyer they sent out. You ought to see the real mugshot of this lady. She looks like a Halloween costume. Joanne Reed. She's ugly. I got to say that. But here, she pleads out, people. She pleads out. Reed pled out to a felony. And here, this is in the Post-Dispatch. Was immediately sentenced to probation and immediately probation in 60 hours. She could have got from 4 to 15 years in prison. Could have got 4 to 15 years. They immediately sentenced her, so now they can't come back in double jeopardy. Do you people understand what's going on? But see, now she's running for mayor again. She got her record expunged. 2 counts of bringing contraband into a penal institution and official misconduct when she was a mayor of Allerton. Now, the St. Clair County Democratic Culture of Corruption, they got her record expunged. They got her record expunged. They didn't get my record expunged. They wouldn't have got your record expunged. Unbelievable, people. Only in St. Clair County. But see, that's her. That's her. Joanne Reed, that's her. And she's one of them. So her being a convicted felon, you don't hear Sprague and Kernan them. I don't give a damn if she gets it impeached or if she gets it expunged or not. Bringing contraband in a penal institution, bringing contraband, 2 charges, official misconduct, she had 4 felony charges. And they've all been dismissed or probation completed, and they wiped it clean. They didn't wipe mine clean. They didn't wipe your family clean if they got in trouble. But now here, look at the pattern. James Haywood, and now Joanne Reed. They're not talking about those 2 felons because they're felons. They're not talking about Charlie Powell, the felon down in East St. Louis that they all went to his going-away party. People, understand the hypocrisy of this St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption. I'm far from being perfect, but I'm not a hypocrite. These guys have all made mistakes. But if you make a mistake and you're one of them, they'll take care of it. That's not fair to me. That's not fair to you. That's not fair to our families. That's not fair to this community. And Joanne Reed, give me a call, will you? Give me a call, you skanky skank. And that's not saying all women. Hey, if you're a skank, you're a skank, man or woman. If you're a bitch, you're a bitch, man or woman. But this lady is just plain butt ugly. Whew, she is ugly. Got that har on her. That's the word. You know, Joanne, you ought to take whoever sold you that mop that you put on your head. You better sue them. Because, boy, unless you paid less than $1 for that, you got screwed, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. We got a caller. Let's take the caller before I go on ranting and raving. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Bob?
Go ahead.
Hey, it's Jerry Nichols. How you doing?
Yeah, Jerry, what's going on?
Hey, that James Haywood, he's the one who got kicked off the board last time they run. They tried to put him on there, and they put his wife on instead. Yeah,
because I exposed him. I remember that.
Exactly that. Then you got that Joanne Reed. She worked as a clerk. She couldn't get along with nobody there, so they got rid of her and put her down to code. That's when she took all the records, personal records from City Hall down there. That's when she got fired from the code enforcement.
Well, that's going to be alleged at this time, Jerry, because I don't have any proof in front of me, but I understand. I hear she's working. They're sitting down. She's making a fortune at the Common Fields of Cahokia Water District. And I ask all the good people in Centerville Township, you didn't get the opportunity. They put her around like a chess piece, Jerry. She's went from here, causing trouble, went to there. But only the democratic culture of corruption will allow that to happen.
Well, that's true, Bob. You know, it's another thing, too. I'm gonna bring up this Kern and McCall Sr. and McCall Jr. and Mike Crockett Jr. Whatever happened to this? We're sitting here. They tried to buy an election from me, and I'm sitting here after all this work I done, and still nothing's going on. They get out of everything.
Yeah, Jerry, let me tell you what. I think Roger Cook, and it's not going to be a political issue, he's going to resurrect it as the co-chairman of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. For you people that don't remember, Jerry Nichols alleged, and he's telling us on the radio, that he was wired by the FBI to go up and talk to Kern, and there was some quid pro where they were going to do something for Jerry if he did something for them. Is that not correct, Jerry?
That's exactly right. They want to give me that county board seat. Sure was.
If you laid down, what did they ask you to do?
They asked me just, lay down in the election, just stay away, let them have my precinct, which they know they couldn't take, and that's what it was all about to begin with.
And you're telling us that the FBI had you wired up and had you go to Kern's office. You didn't do that on your own. Had you go to Kern's office?
No, I was wired when I went to Curtis McCall's office 3 times. I went to Crockett's office at county, and I also went in Mark Kern, chairman's office, with Mike Crockett and Kern at the same time. It's not fake. It's all real.
Well, you know what, Jerry? I think that's going to be resurrected. Thank you for the call. People, do you understand? This gentleman, and he's an honorable man, is saying on the radio, for a matter of record, that the FBI had him go up to Mark Sweetcake's Kern's office, and it was quid pro. They were going to give something to get something, which is illegal. What's happened to that? What's happened to that, people? There can't be two sets of standards. There's got to be one for everybody, because this is America. We're not going to tolerate it. But Joanne Reed gets her record expunged when she's embarrassed the city of Allerton, and then she's got the nerve and the audacity, because she's with the St. Clair County Democratic Culture of Corruption. She's running for mayor of Allerton again. Leave well enough alone. You've embarrassed the people of Allerton one time too many. But see, Mark Sweetcakes Kern, God Sprague, those son of a bitches, they manipulate the system. Joanne Reed can get away with it. I can't. You can't. Our families can't. When is enough? But Joanne Reed is endorsed, and that's why I bring this up. Joanne Reed is endorsed by the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee, and she's a felon. She can have her record expunged, people, but she is a felon. They don't talk about her. They don't talk about Haywood. They're not going to be talking about the gentleman I'm going to bring up right after the break. Kim Buttboy McAfee went to federal prison. And buttboy is one thing. When you're out of prison, it's kind of like you do things for people. Buttboy in prison means totally something different. And was your nickname, I want to ask, Kim McAfee, you greasy bastard, was your nickname in federal prison Buttboy? And we're going to talk about your record, and we're going to talk about you supporting the St. Clair County Democratic Culture of Corruption, and the St. Clair County Democratic Culture of Corruption supporting you, another greasy felon. But I guess if you're not Bob Romanik, then you're okay, felon. We're going to be right back after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, very proud to be the Patriot. You've been listening throughout my show. The theme is hypocrisy, and that's what the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee, the St. Clair County Culture of Corruption, is all about. You've heard me talk about Joanne Reed, one of their felons. What the hell's that ignorant bastard's name? Jim Haywood. Their candidate for county board, led by Mark Sweetcakes Kern. And now we've got East St. Louis security company owner indicted for defrauding the government, defrauding us, the people, Kim McAfee. It reads, he was 47 at the time of East St. Louis. He was indicted for defrauding a school district. He was working with Alonzo Greenwood. But now listen, people, he has a big barbecue yesterday in honor of LaToya Greenwood. So you see the hypocrisy? They're not backing off their felons by inflating his bill, stealing money from us, the taxpayers. That's what the U.S. attorney says. McAfee owned a private security company. He was a former detective in East St. Louis. He underpaid employees. He didn't pay him this, went back, didn't pay the government their fair share. He was indicted on 15 counts of mail fraud. Now, I'm the bad guy, people. McAfee, 16 charges of making false statements. I get charged once. 16 counts of making false statements, 15 counts of mail fraud, 3 counts of wire fraud, and 3 counts of falsifying records. This is Kim McAfee, the ex-Washington Park detective who used to drive around in a Hummer with lights on it. And this ignorant, stupid boy bitch drove around. He come out. He had a full-length mink coat on with all kind of jewelry when he was a detective in Washington Park. And he disrespected and disgraced the proud community of Washington Park. Everybody knows about Kim L. McAfee. Now, he's supporting his wife's on the school board that they supported. Now, here's a felon. Here's a guy, 16 counts of making false statements, 15 counts of mail fraud, 3 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of falsifying records. Now, they're not backing off Kim McAfee. They're taking his barbecue. They're taking his support down in East St. Louis. Mark Sweetcakes Kern. McAfee's got signs all over his yard for Kern and LaToya Greenwood. Got pictures taken. I've got pictures with them together. And this man, all these 30, 40 federal counts, but he's their guy. And Kim boy, I want to know, maybe with that name Kim, maybe they thought you was a woman when you were in prison. Did they really, I'm asking you, did they really call you butt boy? Because if they called you butt boy in prison, that means a little bit different, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. And McAfee, give me a call, you greasy son of a bitch. He got out of prison. I felt bad for him. I tried to help him out. But and also, it says Kim McAfee owned and operated a strip club called Soft Touch in Washington Park. Now, there's another strip club owner along with Rich Soje, who owns 5. But see, that's their strip club owners. People, do you understand, if nothing else, the hypocrisy with these rotten bastards? They're supporting Kim McAfee down there. They promised him another job in the school district, I heard. You good people down there, you're not going to get a job. Alonzo Greenwood's got his daughter, LaToya, $100,000 a year, $50,000 on that works for the city, where she's a council member, and now she's going to want to make another $100,000 a year as your state representative. How greedy can the Greenwoods get? But Kim McAfee, you greasy little son of a bitch, you disgraced the people of Washington Park when you were Washington Park detective. Then there's another thing, and we're going to get more on Kim because I don't have enough time. But a woman said that he tried to bribe her in talking about a homicide investigation. That shows you how unprofessional this Kim McAfee, but he's can cook some barbecue for LaToya Greenwood and the Democratic Culture of Corruption. I guess Kern was down there slopping on the barbecue. Kern don't want to be down in East St. Louis. He's lied about what he's going to do, and he's going to continue to lie, and so are the Democrats. And you smart people all throughout this county, you know better. Those lies have been going on for 40 years, but we're going to talk about bitch boy, butt boy, Kim McAfee a little bit more tomorrow. Roger Cook just walked in. Roger, we've only got a couple minutes. I read this thing about Kern in the newspaper, and I know you're a Christian guy, and you don't want to go negative, but I'll be damned. How the hell can you and anybody else read that and not be pissed off?
Bob, as you well know, back in the early 90s, I'm saying 1990, 91, We heard that the Democratic Central Committee and the Democratic elected officials, they're going to get down there and they're going to develop the riverfront. We've heard it forever and ever and ever, and nothing happened. When I was mayor from 93 to 97, that's all they talked about. They never did a darn thing down there. And you know, you and I have talked about it. I brought it up, tried to bring it up at the forum down in East St. Louis early in this election cycle, and they wouldn't even let me talk because the Democrats didn't show up. You remember that.
I do.
They haven't done one thing for the people of East St. Louis but keep them pressed down, deny them of equal opportunity. I'm the one that ended racial and gender discrimination in the hiring process in Belleville when Mark Kern fought me the whole way. Every time we brought that up to a vote to enter into a consent decree with the United States Department of Justice, Mark Kern voted no and led his people to vote no, and cost the city hundreds of thousands of dollars. I went back up there and met with Jerry Costello, Mosley Braun, Simons, our senators, and met with Janet Reno, got another settlement, came back and got it done. I broke an 8-8 tie to bring equality for all. He was the biggest obstacle for the people of color, for females. You couldn't become a police officer or a firefighter because when you came in and applied, they threw it in a trash can. He knew it, but he lied, and he cost Belleville, people in Belleville, hundreds of thousands of dollars falsely trying to fight it to keep his party looking good.
Yeah, Roger, we don't have time, but I know you've asked and demanded that Mark Kern debate you on several occasions, and Mark Kern will not, because Mark Kern cannot defend himself. Roger, one more time. You want to ask if Mark Kern on the air, because they all listen, ask if he will debate you so he can't say that you never asked.
Well, he can't say that. You know that. I've already gave him one opportunity again a week or so ago, and he won't call me back. Mark Kern has nothing to say. My record stands clear. I reduced taxes every year, reduced crime every year, led the region in job creation, economic development. This county has lost more jobs, more population than any other county in the state of Illinois. It's because they don't do nothing, they don't get out and sell and market, and we will.
Roger Cook, thank you very much. We're going to talk about Kim Bitch Boy, or Butt Boy, McAfee, but I've got it right here too. McAfee was 26 months in prison, and they tell me he cried every day. Had to spend all kind of money for restitution. Now, the U.S. attorney, right here in quotes, he operated as a crook with a badge. But that crook with the badge is supporting the Democrats in St. Clair County, and the St. Clair County Democrats are supporting him. They're giving him money to put on barbecues. Also, here it is here. McAfee, the guy's on trial for murder, the 2010 murder of the Washington Park mayor, John Thornton. And it says here that the Mr. McAfee is alleged to try to bribe someone to change their, and this is alleged, of course, but this is Officer McAfee, who the federal prosecutor operated as a crook with a badge. 26 months in federal prison. They said he cried the whole time. But they like him, and he's a felon. And I only bring this up, people, because of the hypocrisy. If you're one of their thugs, if you're one of their felons, it's okay. Let's understand, people, we have to get rid of this democratic culture of corruption. And I'm by far not the best candidate. I only ran this time, people, so they would have an opponent, opposition. I didn't want to see them walk in and go up and bobblehead for Madigan. And let me tell you in closing, I will not bobblehead for Madigan. I will not bobblehead for Rauner. I won't even bobblehead for you good people. I will listen to you people, the people that put me in office. I will respect your wishes, and I will vote your way. I will not take a penny. I cannot tell you anymore. You either vote for me or vote for LaToya Greenwood, who'll be making $250,000 on 3 public jobs, and you good people in East St. Louis can't get one. If that's what you want, take her. But if you want a fighter in Springfield who'll fight the politicians, Democrat and Republican, you need to vote for me, Bob Romanik. Not a perfect candidate, but the perfect warrior to send to Springfield. This is Bob Romanik. the Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Come on back tomorrow. We're going to fight this political fight till November the 8th. Win, lose, or draw, people. We're going to fight it, continue. I'm going to fight this fight until they put a bullet, and not politically speaking, in my head. I hate these rotten bastard son of a bitch and political, parasitical, perverted punks that we call politicians, and I know you hate them just as bad. Let's don't play party politics anymore. Let's play politics for the people. Let's be Americans, not Democrats and Republicans. Let's rid our counties, our states, our country of this political corruption. It's been going on forever. We cannot take it anymore. So let's continue, people. Good people, bad people. None of us are perfect. Let's unite together, men, women, black, white, Democrats and Republicans. Let's unite, people, to expose these rotten bastard political parasitical punks. These low-life, bottom-feeding bastards. They can come out with hit pieces on me and every other candidate against them. But you people are smart. You understand behind the scenes what's been going on. They will hit us with negative because they have nothing positive to tell you. They have nothing positive to stand on. They have never had a positive record. So be negative, you rotten bastards. But the people on November 8th are smarter than that. They're going to vote your asses out of office. So let's continue to unite to expose these son of a bitchin' politicians. And at the end of the day, you know what we got to do to these low-life scumbag, cockroach-sucking bastards. We got to destroy them once and for all. Politically, of course. Right here on the dark side.